One time with feeling as we get underway. Cedars gets the advantage. Marjoram tucks it behind the background. 1, 2, 3 cars. Make it 4 have caught up. And big damage gets the JKD car of Brookine. He was just about through.
Yeah, being the last race of the day, got a really good start. Car in front of us, Gerald Maggs, was spinning the wheels a bit, so I managed to drive clearly past him and move across to the left. And as I started to move up, I see an incident unfolding over to the right. It looked like all the cars were settled, so I stood back onto the power, and next thing I got absolutely hammered. I didn't even see the car coming.
JKD transport entry and so close to rolling over.
Initially in the car, my first thought was to try and get the car off the track out of the way. Tried to drive, realised I couldn't move, so I turned it off and just waited. And then when medical come, they said, "Can you get out of the car?" And I said, "Well, I can't open the door." I actually found a dent in my right side in my back around here, and they were pretty concerned about that and said that, you know, we need to take you to hospital just to be for safety, and they didn't want me to move at all. I've had accidents before in motorsport, but not one where I've had to go to hospital. We'd like to be back on track for Bathurst, but essentially, you know, we're probably anywhere from 15, 20 grand shy on our budget, and I've been relying on other people to help us out financially, which is funding I've got to pay back, and I don't want that to grow too much. So I've said, look, I'm just going to have to stop for the moment. Worst case scenario, we lease the car and put another driver in it, but I'd much rather be back out there in the car, especially now we've got a fresh engine, discovering that we were down on horsepower at the last event.
Jaden Maggs into Control and then just sent the field into a frenzy.
A bumper flew off of Ryle's car, I reckon it was, so we moved to the right to sort of miss that. Stayed to the right of the track, and next thing I know, I was facing the concrete wall doing 160 k's an hour. So that's one of the biggest crashes I've had in a race car before. So I got out of the car and just seen the wreckage that was there. There was about 3 or 4 cars just laid there, and I had a quick look at the car and it wasn't real good. Got the car back on the trailer and yeah, headed back to GGM to assess the damage. Found that the diff had actually moved over a little bit, so there was damage to that we had to fix. So yeah, we had to really get on to some parts and source what we needed. So Cedars was great to supply that. Oriental 4x4 helped out in the party. Obviously Go Sunny Solar with the couple of street cars that we used some of the parts for. Team effort from GGM and all the other guys that pitched in and got the car fixed.
When I did have a look at the car, it sort of reiterated to me how much of a large collision it was. Well, really, I didn't have to make any initial phone calls. It's a big family here in SuperUtes. Luke Cedars, who runs the series, he was first to me, and so that was really encouraging for our team to have that series support. He organised a new chassis that was virtually on the ground from the time we hit back in Sydney. You know, we've got some great guys and girls here at Western Sydney Motorsport, and they all pitched in. We only had one day to shake the car down on the events in Sydney. We made that happen. Luke Cedars was there to oversee that, and the car was great. In dollar figure, I think it'd be 30k to rebuild the car with the chassis and all the components. It's a one-off cost, and you know, it was a bit of a freakish accident.
I even heard from Aaron Ball, who was overseas at the time of the incident, saying, you know, it's really good to see how much the category get behind each other when things like that happen.
It took 3 weeks, day and night, to get the thing fixed. So, but everyone was really supportive with sending messages during the week, that first week, just saying how we were travelling, and yeah, fellow competitors and fellow team mechanics and stuff like that, just to check in, and you know, any ideas they may have, we took on board. So yeah, it was great.